this is a horrible situation anytime we are involved in these type of incidents. At the same time, I want to thank God our deputies are okay. But as I said, this is always a tragic situation. I want to thank the Hernando Sheriff's Office, Florida Highway Patrol, and the State Attorney's Office. We were working together. Some of the aspects that occurred earlier, and then we have our own incident which occurred later on in the morning. This involved 2 off-duty detention deputies, 1 sergeant and 1 deputy. They were in their own personal vehicles, in uniform. They do not have body-worn cameras, so I want to make sure that's put out there right away. The deceased is Ronald Michael Robibero, white male, date of birth 6/3/86. His prior convictions are from June of 2008, or arrests. His arrests are from June 2008, a DUI, December 2010, disorderly intoxication, August 2013, DUI, and that was in Alabama. And in 2015, he was arrested for domestic battery, resisting with violence. Now let me go what happened this morning. Early this morning around 4 o'clock, the Pasco Sheriff's Office receives a 911 hang-up. A female stated that the male was following her. This occurred around the County Line Road 41. When our deputies arrived on scene, they see Hernando deputies out with the person and the suspect, Ronald Robibero. It actually was on Hernando's side. Our deputies said they need anything, they need any assistance, our deputies leave the area. Shortly after that, there was a crash that occurred on County Line area around in Hernando's side involving a red 4-door vehicle. That was the same car that Ronald was in earlier. The victim of the crash that Ronald struck sees a person run towards the Coca-Cola plant facility. That facility is in Pasco County. At the facility, we are told that the truck drivers have been starting up their trucks for the day. They crank them up, let them run. While one of the trucks was unattended, the suspect jumps into the vehicle and then starts fleeing outside of the plant, going southbound on 41. It was just coincidental that one of our sergeants, detention sergeants, is right behind that vehicle. He states he sees him pull out of there recklessly. Following down the road, he says this truck is weaving on both sides of the lane. He's going all over the place. He tries to get up. He's in his own personal vehicle. He tries to get up close behind it because he's trying to get a tag number to relay that to dispatch to get more units out here to try to stop him. At some point during this, trying to follow him, a little further down the road, the Coca-Cola truck stops immediately in the middle of the road. The Mustang, which our sergeant is in, stops. He's trying to reverse, but the Coca-Cola truck lays it in reverse and backs over the hood of our sergeant, detention sergeant. We have that photo. We'll be sending that out to you right now of his vehicle. You see that vehicle. So then at that point, while he's on the hood, they ran him off the road. The Coca-Cola truck then proceeds further down, goes southbound down 41. It just happened that another one of our detention deputies, he's in his personal F-150, is going southbound on 41. At that time, the Coca-Cola truck hits the front corner panel of the F-150. They both swerve, go off the road, they crash off the road, which you have that photo of. That's the actual spot where the 2 trucks collided and went off the road at. The detention deputy is in full uniform. Everything we have, he's in his green BD. Detention deputy jumped out of the vehicle at the same time. The detention deputy draws down on the suspect, gives him commands, tell him to get down, don't move. At some point within that interaction, the detention deputy states that the suspect charged at him. He attacks the detention deputy. A very violent fight ensues. During that struggle, the detention deputy had made a statement that his life was in danger. He was being choked out. The detention deputy fires 2 rounds into the suspect. The suspect goes down at that point. During this time, the detention sergeant had been on the phone with 911. The deputies were going to the scene. So it was almost simultaneously the deputies arriving on scene. They render aid to the suspect. He was down, they couldn't find a pulse. Fire rescue arrives on scene and they try to perform services to the deceased. The detention deputy is taken to the hospital to to make sure he's okay. And that's right now we're going to check follow up on him about any other injuries. Our victim advocate has been called out for our detention deputies, for their families, but also for the suspect's family. We have a victim advocate en route right now trying to make contact with her and the family because we know it's a tragedy for them also. Again, I want to thank Florida Highway Patrol, Hernando Sheriff's Office, and the State Attorney's Office. This is a very fluid investigation. It's ongoing. We have major crime out here. We have all our detectives, a lot of detectives out here investigating this. At the same time, you see it's a lot of resources because of traffic on US 41. We're going to be out here for several hours. Is there any questions?
Can you spell the suspect's last name?
The spelling I have is R-O-B-B-I-B-A-R-O. Date of birth is 6/3/86. Ronald Michael.
The Coca-Cola plant, is that the one where the fence is all ripped apart?
Maybe I haven't been up there this morning, sir, so I'm not sure, but it's just right up the road here on the Pasco side.
And on the east side of the road?
I'm not sure exactly yet.
Your investigators believe this man was drunk at the time?
We don't know. They'll have to do the toxicology, but you know, his previous histories of the DUI, not knowing what their interaction with Hernando was. So as I said, it's a very fluid investigation, but the two things was you have it's a cab. It wasn't the full tractor trailer, it was just that cab. That's a very heavy vehicle. That is a deadly weapon out here. It was just coincidental. It was two off-duty detention deputy and a sergeant. You know, they are professionals. They're trained. I cringe to fear the fact that it could have been somebody going to work, driving with their kids in the car, and this person is basically has a couple-ton weapon in their hands, and they're trying to ram people off the road and back over their vehicles. We're good? I appreciate it. We'll get you any more updates that we get, we'll provide you. Thank you all very much.
Sure.